Welcome everybody to Spring Forward 2019. Yay! Let's have a clap for ourselves that we're here. We've made it. Everything is so set up beautifully. My name is Marlene Elizabeth. I am the founder and author of Money Wings. And I am so excited and so honored to be the MC for this year's event. So I know that one of the things I just love about Rebecca's events, this is my third one that I've attended, and I'm a mom to an 11-year-old little girl, so my days are filled a lot with other little 11-year-olds. So it's really nice to be among adult company, especially part of my tribe of fellow authors and speakers and leaders, influencers, all the amazing people that you are in this room. So thank you. It is my absolute honor and joy to introduce a phenomenal leader and human being in this world, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. Now, for some of you who may not know, Rebecca Hall Gruyter is the founder and owner of Your Purpose-Driven Practice. She's the creator of the Women's Empowerment Series, just like the event that we're at today. She's also the creator of the Speaker Talent Search. Perhaps some of you have participated in that. And she is also the CE and owner of RHG Media Productions. And I have to say that this event today is about transformation. And I will say that since our lives have crossed, oh my goodness, the transformation in my own professional life and personal life have really taken a dramatic turn. So I know that today you are going to be incredibly just really rewarded for all your efforts in being here today. So without further ado, I welcome Rebecca Hall Gruyter to the stage. Yay, Rebecca!
Thank you for the beautiful introduction. Well, everyone, are you excited to be here? I heard clapping and cheering already. That's a great way to start the day. And I know many of you have traveled great distance to be here. You've overcome snowstorms. You've overcome traffic. You've overcome delays in flights and are still here, bright and early, shining. I'm so honored to have each of you here. Can't wait to spend today with you. And I know by the very fact that you're here, there's something amazing and powerful for you today. So you ready to receive it? Ready to spring forward? Okay, you're in the right place. Who knows what goes in the center? You. Put your name in the center. This is about you and supporting you. And in fact, put a heart. We can always use a little bit more love. Supporting us, uplifting us. And you notice as well that there are these green things. What are these called? Leaves. The petals are on top. Leaves are on the bottom. And it's planted. Because part of springing forward, part of growing, we've got to dig our roots in and allow support. So I want you to look at those leaves as support for you on your journey. Allowing what's going to nourish you to come in, keeping out what does not. And I've learned that there's this myth. We think we're supposed to do it all on our own. I don't know where it got started. We need to bust that myth. Life is not a solo journey. So to help bust that myth, reinforce that, I want you to find 2 new connections today. One of the things I want to encourage today is for us to be real, authentic, transparent. Perfection's overrated. It's actually not even about perfection. I feel it's about connection. We want to connect with real people. So I want this to be a safe space for us to stretch, to grow, to support each other, to speak from our heart without having to filter everything and test it out in our head before we share it. sometimes when we do that, we'll sometimes say the opposite of what we mean. Has anyone ever done that? And what can happen when we do that, speakers talking one-on-one or with a group, we start to shrink back. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said that. Now they're not going to believe anything. We have this dialogue start going on in our head. And our body will still be there, but suddenly we're gone. Right? The words are still coming out, but we're not even connected anymore. What I find can shift that, stop it, is reminding ourselves in that moment when we're authentic, when we're truly being who we are, we care so much that we're willing to be imperfect, perfect in our imperfections, and share anyway. That is a beautiful moment. And I think it should be acknowledged and celebrated. So the way we do that here is with a magic phrase. Who knows it? That's right. You are we really stretch it out, so beautiful. And reminding ourselves of that truth, because it is a truth. And I want us to get really good at that, because those moments are going to happen, because we're going to be real. We're going to be authentic. I declare that for us today. So as we are, I hope we say that phrase a lot. I hope we celebrate our beauty and the wonder of how we're made and how we shine in all our different facets. So can we practice this? Okay. Oh my goodness, I stumbled on stage. Ooh, I heard it here first. Did you notice I leaned in? I smiled bigger. I didn't shrink back. It feels really good. That's something else we can do when someone pays us a compliment. That voice starts again. Oh, they just caught a good side. If they only knew. Do we recognize some of these voices? Yeah. We'll say this. When someone's telling you that, they mean it. Receive it. Don't brush it off. Lean in. Soak up how that feels to be acknowledged and seen as beautiful. Can we do that? Are we sure? Okay, because I'm going to have us try it. So make eye contact with a buddy at your table, because you make eye contact. And I want you to share that gift. You are, and stretch out that really stretch it out, so beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay, now let's find another buddy. Let's make eye contact again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are so beautiful. Okay, and 3, because 3 is my favorite number. Here we go. One more person. Find a buddy on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are so beautiful. Yay! Did you notice? Well, there was laughter, there was joy, the energy, that vibration lifted. And you can tap into that anytime throughout the day and share that gift and take it forward richly. And that's something you can take forward and share as you're springing forward. Remind people of their beauty, the greatness that you see in them, because we forget sometimes that we're beautiful and great. Can we do that? Okay, great. And I shared earlier how I believe you are here on purpose, because I know you said yes multiple times to be here today. And I believe that yes is sacred. And we're here to support you in that. Because you said yes when you heard about the event and registered. You said yes when I sent the confirmation. You said yes when I sent the reminder. And you said yes yet again this morning as you arrived. And I want you to get everything that is here for you. But sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, we can be here in body, but our mind is elsewhere. We can be pulled different directions. What happened before you walk through that door can be nipping at your toes, holding on to your ankle, and dragging you back. So in order to be fully present, can I walk us through exercise to release some of that? We're going to put those things into safekeeping so you know where to get them later should you want to pick them up and bring them further with you, you can decide. But really choose to be here, to be fully present, to receive everything that is here for you, because it is a choice that you can make. And don't forget emotions, energy. Those things can pull at us too. So are you guys ready? Okay. Let's take a moment, close our eyes. Take a deep breath. I mean a deep breath. In through the nose, see how big you can make your belly. All the way to your toes. And then breathe out. Wonderful. Your eyes closed. Keep breathing. Breath is great, by the way. Brings oxygen to every cell in your body. Lowers stress levels. So you keep breathing this way, which helps you be present, have clarity, be supported. Great. So as you're breathing, I want you to think about, give full attention to those things that are pulling at you, that are wanting your attention, that are wanting to drag you away a little bit. Give them a moment. Let's give them a moment. Full attention. And then let's lovingly gather them and place them into a blue shiny bag. Shine's important. Great. Place them at the bottom of the bag, has tall edges, and we're going to put some tissue paper on top, containing them. Okay, great. And then I want you to take a breath, and we're going to remove this from the room. Okay? So it's got to be a big breath. So big breath. Okay, here we go. We're removing them, breathing them out across the lobby, all the way over to the shopping area. They will be entertained and fed. Okay? Great. So open your eyes just a moment and let's stand. I find that works better than standing and then opening. Great. Move around a little bit. Okay. Great. Okay, now close your eyes. We're going to do it one more time. Anything that was hiding, scan inside and see, is there anything else pulling at you that doesn't belong as part of your experience today? Oh, there's one more. Okay. Let's collect those and lovingly place them into a star-shaped box. Gather all those pieces. Place them in the bottom of the box that has a beautiful lid with tiny air holes. Place that on top. No suffocating. Right? And boxes are heavy. That's why I had you stand. So we're going to take a big breath all the way to our toes to remove these and keep them in safekeeping, but at a distance. Okay? The count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. Out the door, across the lobby, across the street, all the way. Keep breathing to the mall, the shopping area. Perfect. Okay, come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. Good. Okay, go ahead and have a seat. I'm seeing even more smiles. I like that. Good. And now that we've created a little bit of room in us and space and presence, since we don't have all those things pulling at us, I wanted to give us some mindset, some things to help us frame and can keep the information that's going to be shared with us today. Because we've just expanded, we've just increased room and space, and it can be this vacuum. So I want us to be purposeful in what we're bringing in and kind of the filters we're using as we're receiving information and bringing it in. Does that make sense? Okay. So I wanted to share a quote from Oprah. You become what you believe. Oprah Winfrey. Let's be mindful about what we're believing about ourselves and others. Let's pay attention. You become what you believe. I had a show this last week. Dr. Nancy, you were on the show with me. we were talking about love, because February, month of love, and we were talking about feminine power and stepping into that, and we were looking at how do we do that and keep that forward momentum going. So it was a very, very full show. And one of our guests, Christine Agro, shared an interesting concept I wanted us to think about today. How many of you have told yourself or even said it to somebody else, those words have crossed your lips? Or you've heard, don't be so full of yourself. Don't get too big for your britches. Who do you think you are? Have we ever heard those phrases and even said them to ourselves? Christine's response was, who else am I supposed to be full of? I thought, what a beautiful response to that voice. Because one of the biggest gifts we can give is being fully who we are and sharing that with the world. So the next time, if that voice is trying to tiptoe in, you can say, well, who else am I supposed to be full of? I'm being full of me and celebrating it. And today is a great day to stretch and try that. And one of the things I'd love for you to do, so extra credit bonus opportunity for those who like those opportunities, I want you to share something special you see in somebody that made you smile, that lifted your spirit, that's just so that person. And remembering and sharing, holding up a mirror, reminding them of their greatness. The things that make us distinct, those things that are special about us, for some reason we think they're weird and we try to get rid of them. We become self-conscious of them. And I've shared this some, I'm going to share it today. One of the things I was super uncomfortable with is my laugh. It's weird and different.
But I love it.
Thank you. But I didn't love it. I was self-conscious, and I was a financial advisor for many, many years, so I worked on lowering my voice, trying not to bounce in my step too much, making the subject of money really heavy, hard, and serious. And I discovered that's really not the support people are looking for. They want a little lightness and love and safety and empowerment around money. So I was able to embrace a little bit more of who I was and bring that to the table. And I noticed, just like when we were sharing, you are so beautiful, it lightened the energy in the room and it made the subject not so scary. Became safer to talk about and even joyful at times. But the thing about the laugh, especially when I was called to step into speaking, oh my goodness, I had to do something about that. So I hired a really expensive coach for me. It was a big investment. I actually had to travel down to Burbank several times, Southern California, to get support and go into the studio. And this person had worked with Drew Barrymore, Maroon 5. So I knew they knew their stuff. But Rebecca Hall Gruyter, I like lists. Big investment. So I was going to tell the expert what they needed to fix about me, because it was my investment. These were the results I needed. If I'm going to step into the speaking thing, guess what was top of the list? The laugh. If nothing else was accomplished, that laugh had to be shifted. Something needed to be different. And I showed up with great passion, shared my list, he received it, and I went on and on about the laugh. And he waited till I was finished. Then he took my notes and he set them to the side. And he goes, Rebecca, I think where we need to start. The expert took control. He heard, but then he knew what I needed, not what I thought I needed. He goes, you have a misunderstanding around what an asset and a liability are. He used financial terms, using some language, right? I understood. Of course I know what assets and liabilities are. He goes, Rebecca, when you have something about you that's different, that stands out, that carries across the room, that's distinctive, that people associate with you, draws them in, they remember it about you, they lean and smile, That's an asset. Do more of that, not less. That's not the thing you put at the top of the list to get rid of. I thought, oh, because you should be doing more of that. The things you work on are the things that interfere with your message, that they can't hear your voice and all the noise out there. Those are the things to work on. So I'd love for us, if we notice an asset in somebody, something that's unique, quirky, and powerful about them, share that. Let them know. When he shared that truth with me, it was so powerful. I got to actually celebrate more of who I was, laugh more. And for the first time, I heard my laugh in a new way. And I heard my grandmother's laugh. That was a gift she'd given to me that I had been so anxious to get rid of. So let's open our eyes to our gifting. Open our eyes to our quirks. Let's share that with each other because we're too close to it sometimes. We're trying to polish away those things. And we're losing our texture. We're losing our unique voice, our unique imprint. So let's embrace that and remind each other of our greatness. Can we do that today? Beautiful. And then something that can happen. I asked the question earlier today, how many people were looking for more visibility? And there were a good amount of hands. But I want to encourage us to maybe look at visibility a little bit differently. Can I share what I believe visibility is? And please understand this is coming from someone who strove to be invisible. If we go back in time, I never wanted to be seen. I didn't want to be in media in any way. I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't want to have to be seen to do it. I didn't want to have to be vulnerable. I wanted to see the transformation. I wanted people just to feel my heart and know that I cared, and for my passing there, make a positive difference. But I learned if they cannot see you, if they cannot hear you, you cannot help them. So to me, visibility isn't about being center stage and all the spotlights on. It's being easy to find so the people who need you know you're there and can hear your voice, and you can help them. When we're hurting, because we all have times that we hurt, that we struggle, that we are just cut to the quick. Life is now no longer the same when we have those moments. All we can do is breathe. Okay. Can I take another breath? Okay. All those voices, all the people that are caring become, like in Snoopy and Charles Brown, we can't hear them. It's like this fog. And it feels so far and remote from where we are because we're trying to breathe. It's like darkness comes around us. And the only thing I know that can cut through darkness is light. And I believe we need to be willing to be that light, to shine so brightly that we cut through that dark and they can actually see our hand outstretched. See the safe path. To me, that's what visibility is. That's why you hear me using the phrase a lot, shine. That's what I mean. And shining, sharing your gifts out in a way that you're easy to find, especially in those moments. That's what I believe visibility is about. That's what helped me come from hiding to being willing to share, being willing to shine, being willing to step into all of these platforms, which, by the way, now I love, even though I was very resistant to them in the beginning. But we have the opportunity to show up and shine fully in our life. It's not a dress rehearsal. Today matters. And how you choose to be in it matters. So let's be present. Let's be mindful of what we are receiving in, of what we are believing about ourselves. And let's be full, even more full of who we are. And find joy in discovering another new quirky thing that we can celebrate and we can share and can bring with the world. Now, one of the things you're going to notice, so one of my quirks I'm going to share you, I love shoes. Becca Hall Gruyter, I love lists, and I love shoes. So throughout the day, I don't usually announce this in the beginning, but I'm going to announce in the beginning. So you can all take turns counting how many shoe changes there are, should you choose to do so. I actually travel with a separate suitcase so I can do shoe changes. And originally, I did this when I started because it hurt to wear the same pair of shoes all day. And then it became fun to tie it into a theme. And I always end on flats, by the way, tip I learned. What I didn't expect is that it was fun for me, it supported me, but people started looking forward to it. One of the questions I was already asked by the team earlier today is, how many shoes did you bring? I says, classified, that's on a need-to-know basis, I don't share that. But it's something that uplifts me, that I enjoy, that I found becomes interactive and people enjoy as well. I also love flowers, by the way. You notice there are flowers on the table. Just sharing some of these things that we can weave into what we do. And you notice the flower pens. Now, this is something one of my grandmothers taught me. She used to make these pens, and she would tie them into the season and then share them as gifts. And one day I saw her doing this and I went, oh, that's us. We are each a unique flower with our own color, our own fragrance, our own season, our own scent. And we're all beautiful, and we're all diverse, and we're all different. And that makes the garden of life so rich. And so part of my message in sharing these flowers is to remind you of that truth. I make each of these only when I'm happy. I weave in blessings and love for whoever takes that pen, trusting it'll end up with the right person, the right flower, with the right person. But every time you see that flower, I want you to remember that you are a needed, valuable part of the garden of life, uniquely, wonderfully, and beautifully made. In fact, can I have each of you hold up your flower pens? Look at all the colors. Aren't they beautiful? Notice how lovely all of these flowers are. And then remind yourself that's a representation of you. Now, keep them up. A couple people take them down. Now, I just noticed the garden became less vibrant. Made me a little sad. Something's missing. We're still occupying the same space. But we just took away something from everybody's experience. So I want to encourage you, remind you to be willing to fully shine who you are, that you are a needed, important person in the garden of life. Can we do that? I like the flower in your hair. Fabulous. Beautiful. And then stretching, shining visibility. I have another activity I'd like us to do. Are we game? Yes. Are we sure? Yes. It's interactive. Okay, but I got to tell you a story because I'm a storyteller. That's part of the deal. So this was taught to me by my cat, Nina. Little Nina was silent most of the time, but she always made an entrance when she came into the room. Now, I've never had any cat before or since enter the room like Nina. She pranced. And then she'd wait at the entrance, tail up, head up, and wait. And wait. And if you didn't notice her, she'd chirp. She didn't meow, she'd chirp. Chirp, chirp. And I'd go, oh, hi, Nina. And then she was fine. She'd go about her cat business. But she expected to be acknowledged and seen. She showed up every time she entered a room. I don't know what she did when we weren't there. But I observed this, and I thought, I wonder what that's like. Now, I work from home, and so my husband, when he comes home, he frequently doesn't know what he's going to walk into. It might be the green facial mask day. That's not in the pajamas. That's not his favorite day. Or I might be wearing everything sparkly I own just because it was that kind of day. Need a little more shine. Cowgirl hat, because we needed that. But I noticed he kind of was rolling with it now. Like there wasn't a surprise or shock or wonder anymore. So I decided I'm going to channel Nina here, see what happens. So my office is upstairs. He comes home, he's downstairs, and I wait till he's settled in and occupied. And I dressed up. I looked good. Dolled myself all up. I stealthily snuck down the stairs. And then I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And I went, he goes, "Oh, hi, honey. Needed a little more training." Just like I did. So I go, "Don't I look good?" He said, "Yeah, honey, you look nice." So we went through several iterations. I would just surprise him at random moments. I didn't have a consistent pattern. We had to keep the surprise going. One day, I heard this creaking up the steps, and I'm busy. But I, feel this presence, and I'm busy. And I look over. He goes, "Hey," he had a hat. I go, "Hi," and he goes, "Don't I look good?" It's contagious. And it feels great. I call this ta-da. It's like, here I am. And I thought, what if I greeted the morning like that, the day like that, especially that day where it's feeling low, like the energy, I'm just not really wanting to start the day. So now what I do is I go to the mirror, and I plant both feet. And I go, "Ta-da, I have arrived. The day may begin." And I notice I start laughing. I make eye contact when I do it. And I have now announced myself to the day. It better be on notice. We're going to take it on. And it ends up being an amazing day. Like we can make those choices and shift in a moment. And bringing fun, bringing playfulness into it raises that energy. So we think we're up for it? Some of you are looking a little unsure. Yes? Okay, let's stand. Now we're going to channel Nina. And when we stand front and center, it's ta-da, okay? But we got to prance first. We got to have a little prance. I'm not seeing prancing. We're going to keep prancing until all of us are prancing. Okay, here we go. Ta-da! Okay, let's try again. Prance. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ta-da! And let's bring a little attitude into our prancing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, ta-da! Fabulous! So when we have those moments, when that spotlight feels like it's suddenly on us, what are we gonna do? Ta-da! Exactly, you now have a go-to phrase. Fabulous. Because I want you to be seen today. I want you to share the gift of who you are. Are we in? Okay. Speaking of which, I shared with you earlier today a little bit of what I was hoping would happen for us today. I am hoping and actually setting the intention and believing that you are here on purpose. There is something here for you, and I want you filled to overflowing. Not that overwhelming, but when I'm saying overflowing, it's exactly what you need to fill you up to the point you have so much more to share. That's what I mean, filled to overflowing. It can't help but be shared with others. That's how we can do it in a way that is not depleting. But I'd like for you to check in and see why you're here and set an intention around us. That helps us be on track and purposeful. Can we do that? Okay, let's take a moment. Close your eyes, and I can see if you don't. Just so you know. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Take a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, like through a straw. Great. Keep breathing. Breath is important. And ask self, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, support you, uplift you, empower you to spring forward? What is it you need? And are willing to receive, because you have choice. What is it you need? And are willing to receive. Just be still for a moment and present and receive that information. It can come in a fragrance, sound, a picture, a reminder, a truth, words. All of our senses can be used. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Once you have that information, come back into the room, fully present. Wonderful. And take a moment and write it down. Let's keep it top of mind. We can forget, we can get distracted, but this is your intention. Let's be actively on the lookout for it. Check in on that note periodically throughout the day. See how you're doing. Are you still looking for it? But here's the trick. Here's the extra credit bonus opportunity around this, how you can dial it up. Be unattached to how. In fact, be looking to be surprised how unexpectedly and wonderfully that need gets met in ways you never would have imagined. Be willing to be surprised, not attached to your how, but open to receiving. Great. So we're going to go around the room here and take an opportunity, a moment to meet each other.
Was it wonderful to meet everyone? I thought it was.
I had an experience a couple of years ago where I was a speaker at another event, another stage. It was in this really big hotel with, it felt like endless floors. I'm sure it wasn't, but there were at least 10 floors. And my room was near the top, and the event was down on the lower level. So I got to be in the elevator. And as a speaker, you know how you get the name badge. And so I was wearing the name badge in the elevator that says speaker. And I forgot I had it on. Has anyone ever done that? I'm in the elevator, and people are entering, and there's that weird silence. And then they start going, "Oh, you look like a speaker." And I thought, they can just tell. What are you going to speak on? And so I got to share all the time. And then it dawned on me as I was leaving the elevator, I had the name badge that was giving away what I was claiming at that event. But I found it so powerful. I made sure I was wearing that name badge every time I got in the elevator, every time I went to a restaurant, anywhere in that whole event. And it was a connection. It was something we could talk about. It was a common ground we could have that extends a hand to form that connection. So it's easy for someone to come across that bridge, and there's something to talk about. And I was sad to actually give my name badge back at the end of that event. And I thought, how often are we whipping that name tag off as soon as we can so people don't know who we are and what we bring to the world? So I want to encourage you today, as you're putting that on, talk about it, ask about it. What is this? It's a bridge to help form that connection. Can we do that? Okay, good. So let's be purposeful. Let's read those name tags, read those connection points. And then what I would like us to do is to take a moment to really purposely lift up each other and our respective intentions. So let's take a moment. Actually, let's stand before we close our eyes this time. Ha ha. Great. Now close your eyes after you stand. And let's take a deep breath. You can move so much with breath. And put both our hands on our heart. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. And let's think about the intention that we shared, and let's hold it in our heart for a moment. Sending that love, support, acknowledging that we heard it and receive, and we will lean into it and receive what it is we need. And then as you breathe out, picture that mixing with everyone else's beautiful intentions. Then breathe that in. Hold it in your heart, sending their intentions love and support. Breathe that out again. Beautiful mixture. Mixing it further, table to table. And breathe that in again. Beautiful. Hold it in your heart, and then breathe out into the room. Go ahead and open your eyes. Now what I want you to know is we're here supporting each other, but we just created this beautiful mixture that we get to move around in all day of support and connection. Anytime you're feeling a little dip in energy or a little disconnected, breathe that in. And in fact, at the end of the day, when you do leave us, well, we have the rest of the day coming, you can take a couple scoops of that beautiful mixture with you to go, taking that support, knowing it's with you. But really embrace that opportunity to be held in that support all day long. What a gift. And each of you are contributing to that.
Are you a speaker looking to reach more people with your message? You have a global vision that you want to touch the world and make a global difference. If so, I have an amazing opportunity for you. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. You'll find all the details, but here are the highlights. With one application process, you get clarity on your message. You get to fine-tune how you want to reach the world. Then you'll have everything ready in one place for the opportunities when they come. Second, we select you as a finalist. You get to come in and audition with a 7-minute audition, open up the door to hundreds of speaking opportunities. I hope you lean in. I hope you say yes. We would love to hear your message, help you touch the world powerfully. Again, that's the speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your powerful message.